I know something you don't know, but I'm going to tell you because it is important that you know. It is important that you own this. You are a child of the divine. At your core, you are divine. You have a divine inheritance, and you need to claim it. The way to claim it is to drop everything from the past. I want you to consider the characters of Cinderella and Rapunzel. These are not just charming Disney films. There were stories originally that have been handed down generation after generation because they offer a lot of lessons. This is predominant though. It is a story of someone who doesn't know themselves, who doesn't know that they have a divine inheritance. Someone who grows up in an environment that is not pleasing. In fact, this person is constantly being seen or caught daydreaming, wishing for their real family to show up and rescue them from that horrible environment. The people have made them feel like strangers, weird. And therefore pushed away from that divine inheritance, that divine identity. See, because without an identity, you are nothing. You can be shaped into anything, and the people around these characters did that for them. In essence, you have kind spirits being shaped by the loser element, and convince them that, well, they're the loser ones, they're the crooked ones, they're the ones who are broken somehow, because look, you don't fit anywhere. Everybody thinks you're weird because you don't behave like the rest of us. Again, divine inheritance, this stuff that separates you from the rest, while the rest keeps telling you, yeah, you are separated because you're weird. We don't want you around here. Or if you're gonna be around us, you make sure you change your tune. You have to say things that we like. You have to say things that doesn't upset us. You have to keep us pleased. So these characters is what they did. They just decided, okay, well, they seem to smile at me, meaning I'm okay when I do this and I do that. And so pretty soon the person found themselves living a life of servitude, where people would come around and take advantage because that was their place. These characters did not know of their divine inheritance, of their divine identity. But in the end, what is important to emphasize is that that didn't change them. Maybe threw them off a little bit. I mean, mental abuse and all kinds of verbal abuse and emotional abuse. I mean, these characters have a lot of psychological problems because of it. Because these people brainwashed them into believing that they weren't enough. So they treat them like they weren't enough, but in the end, they were only projecting how they felt about themselves. So, these characters grew up just accepting what everything was telling them they were, but they never lost their innocence. The light within them stayed strong. This is probably why I always tell children or teenagers or people who find themselves lost that you came here to change the world and not for the world to change you, because of your divine inheritance, that divine identity that you carry. You are a child of the divine. You are a spark of the big light, the big kahuna, the Father up in heaven. How do we find the Father? Up in heaven, in our minds, because the Father is mind. In fact, we're swimming in its mind. This whole empty space is nothing but mentality. So as we feel, we resonate, we send signals, and the Father mirrors those signals. Makes you think of those geniuses of the Renaissance, Michelangelo, for instance. They were trying to tell us. They were trying to tell us. Look at the painting Adam. I mean, if you look at Michelangelo and Da Vinci, you're gonna find a lot of their work. They were trying to tell people the truth. They weren't allowed, because a lot of people became enlightened and decided, I'm gonna share this like I am with the rest of the world. They need to know of their divine inheritance, that God is within them, that God is in their minds, and they can connect with Him or it, because it's more than just a dude. You kind of rob it of its power, of its true awesomeness, when you reduce him to a bearded man and give him an ethnicity. It is more than that. You're breathing it in. This is why you feel amazing when you've been jogging. But that's for another story, another time. You need to remember this, because these characters, Cinderella and Rapunzel, they got rescued. They sat there and sang to the moon, prayed to the moon. They contemplated and visualized a better future. And in the end, they got it, y'all. I say that because that story repeats in my life as well. I have that same story. There is so much that you actually learn from going through such hellish journey. It's 47 years of doing the wrong thing, being with the wrong people, having the wrong occupation. Just basically everything was wrong in my life, because the people around me shaped me into doing that. And then I was wondering, how come I'm like receiving the same fate as the people around me? You're swimming in a sphere of mentality. Whatever you emit out, the Father reflects back, because that stuff that is reflecting, that is the Father. You need to remember that.